Hello everyone. Thanks for joining us. In this video, we're here to talk about our journey to having our son, our first son, and we just want to do this video to talk through about the journey from when we got married, the things that happened in the process. So it took about say 3.5 years. It looks short, but it's a lot happened within that period, which can really be, frustrating, which can really mentally painful and stressful to deal with. So we just want to share this video to talk about our journey. We shared a bit of it in during the child dedication at home. We also shared a bit when we took our son to church, but because of the limited time, we couldn't go into more details. So this video is for us to talk about it, share it in more details, and hopefully it can, help people. It can be a source of blessing to people as well.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. My name is Esther, and you are.
My name is Benjamin.
Oh, okay. So, like he has rightly said, the purpose of this is just to share our testimony in full. And you never know, this could be a blessing to somebody that is on the wait and needs encouragement to pull through and wait on God while they are and trust God while they are waiting on God. So, yeah, well, we got married in 2022, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2022 February, and we were expecting that in no distance time we were going to have a beautiful addition, but it didn't happen that way. And I think we had to wait for almost 4 years before God blessed us with our beautiful baby. So to start with, like everybody would expect when you get married, that after a few months you would welcome a baby, you will conceive, and but it wasn't the case, because personally I think we are going to share our experience personally, because for me, I think probably because of films I'd watched, and I like to say this because that's how I felt originally. That once you are ready to get pregnant, once a man and a woman meet each other, they conceive. But apparently, I was delusional. That's not the way it works. Even ideally, I think medically they will say you should try at least 6 months before sometimes it happen. I'm not saying there's no exception. There is. Some people just try and it happens, but ideally it's okay. 6 months is still okay. Even 1 year. I think 6 months is when maybe you've advanced in age, so that they can, what is it called? They can assist you if there's any, if there will be need to do so. So while we were waiting, I'm not sure if I even waited up to two months before I started panicking, and I'm like, what's going on? I'm not using protection now. So what happened? I thought you said you get pregnant. And as long as they I should calm down now. Why am I in age that is normal, that I've just only gotten married and I should just enjoy myself? Why am I so much in age and all of that? Then month was becoming month and nothing was happening. Then I think he became worried as well. And yeah, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, not worried, but of course, you start thinking about it. Like you expect something to start happening, but when after 3, 4, 5, 6 months, nothing is happening, and then you start getting worried when or when you've done something to make something happen. So and then you start getting worried. So towards the end of that year, the first year, yeah, that worry started setting in. We were now thinking, could there be no start thinking, could there be any issue, what could be causing the delay and all that. So yeah, we started thinking, and then I think we decided to go to the GP, right?
Yeah, I think that was before then.
Yeah.
That was before then. Like I said earlier on, even from 2 months, I was already worried. And I think about 6 months or so, around August, I had this very painful
Yes, yes,
menstrual
period. Yeah.
menstrual period, and I called the GP. I think it was even in the middle of the night. It was really strange, and I'm like, "What's happening? This is unlike me. Usually, I used to have a very stress-free menstrual period, painless. Maybe it's when I'm staying that I know, or my mood changes, and okay, it's like this guy is coming. You get that's the kind of cycle, but that one was really strange. I started feeling this serious pain. And my husband was like, "What's going on?" We rang them. They said I should go to the walk-in center the next day, which I did. But they told me that They were asking if I had dysmenorrhea, whatever. The medical guys know what I'm saying. And I said, no, usually I have a pain free cycle, like I stated earlier. So they told me to use ibuprofen. I took the ibuprofen, and I think the pain subsided and that cycle passed. But subsequently, again, the next cycle was the same. I felt like it looked like it was going to take my life because I was rolling on the floor. I remember my husband walking that day and it was like, what was wrong with me? I was screaming. Like, I don't feel pain. Where is this pain coming from? What could be the problem and what have you?
Yeah, I think
Then,
I remembered one that happened midnight,
yeah,
late
that was
night.
the first one
Yeah,
that we
where I had
called
to
doctor.
call my brother-in-law.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I had to call my
called.
because it was scary.
Yeah, and
I'd never
I
experienced
think he
such
was one
before.
that first asked me if I had this menorrhea, and I said no, I didn't. Before we went to the GP the next day, yeah, that was the first episode. So the next month, it was even our worse. It was the same thing. I was rolling on the floor. I remember that they were walking. That I had to take a lead prayer meeting.
Yeah,
That before then, I was rolling on the floor. I was screaming. I was in so much pain, and I'm like, no, my cycle is not like this. What's going on, and all of that. Then I think that was when we were now raising suspicion, and then we called the GP, then booked an appointment. And also again, I think at that point it was 6 months already. We had
yeah,
to go, and I think the rule here says if you've been trying for 6 months and you're at a certain age, you need to go in and speak with your GP so that maybe they will carry out some tests and assist you in any way they can. So we went there. They spoke with us. They asked for our age. They asked us. I think they sent us for tests
yeah.
and all of that. I think that was for me initially because his own test was subsequently. I was the first person they ran test on. They checked my vitamin D level. Yeah, my blood levels. They said I was low. I was anemic and what have you and what have you. But other things were okay. So, but when the pain continued, so they now said, okay, for the pain, they need to check what's going on within. That they are not sure, they can't be so sure. Then they sent me for an ultrasound. So the ultrasound was meant to be in December. I think, yes, it was meant to be in December. And I went for the ultrasound. So at the point of the ultrasound, apparently the radiology was not going to tell me what was happening. She had to send the results to my GP, and my GP called me and they told me, no, yeah, they told me, they sent me the letter, they gave me the letter as well to pick the letter. And when we got the letter, we saw the result of the test. It was saying I had bilateral ovarian cyst.
Yeah.
Yes, bilateral, which was kissing ovaries.
Yeah.
I'll try.
Yeah. Sorry to cut it short. So in layman terms, or so normally the ovaries are meant to the left two ovaries, right, left and right,
Yeah,
and they are meant to be separate, right?
yeah.
So when the test result came, it said they were having bilateral, whatever. But what that means was they were together, like
They
kissing,
were joined
joint. Yeah.
together, and it didn't make sense.
So for me, yeah, for me personally, when I saw that, it was shocking. It was shocking, and it was devastating to be honest. Let me put it that way.
Heart wrenching. Any word you
Yeah,
can use.
because the mere interpretation of it makes you feel like is something actually going to happen with this. So it was a shocking result to see at that point, and then I did my own test as well, which also came back. So we then had to then look for, okay, the test results are out. What are the next step? What are we going to do? And I think I think they suggested
Okay,
some
so
treatment.
while the results came out, I think what they said was that there are various. Okay, the result of the test. Let's go back to the result of the test. They said they had bilateral ovarian cyst, and they were measuring 5 centimeter and 1 centimeter. The 3 centimeter was not the problem. The other one was the issue that I have to go for a surgery, at least for the first instance, to separate the ovaries. Then they will now do some further checks to see that, okay, what could make an ovary be joining? Could it be additions? What could have led to addition? Probably endometriosis. Do you get? That could have led to that addition that made the ovaries join together. So now the question is, could the addition have affected the fallopian tube as well? Because the position at which the ovaries are twisting, I don't know. Even if you conceive, there's no practical sense how things will want to go normal for you to even conceive. Do you get? So all of that was happening anyways, and they told us that it could be endometriosis, it could be a chocolate cyst, but they don't know yet. That one was chocolate cyst, the other one was endometrium, all their medical jargons. Then this okay, we're like, okay, if it's a surgery, we don't have any option, we'll go for it. But how soon will that be? That's another hurdle for us because the waiting list with the
Oh
NHS is
no.
crazy.
The waiting list was something else. We waited almost a year actually to get that appointment for the surgery.
Yeah.
Almost a year. So it was frustrating really to wait. I'm sure many people have that experience as well here. So waiting to get an appointment here is a whole lot. Also want to say that in the midst of all this, while trying, while also seeking medical consultation, medical experts, we were also praying. We never left the place of God out of it. We were also praying because we knew there's nothing God cannot do. So we were praying also while taking medical steps as well in the midst of all this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, that's right. Because personally, I didn't think that it was ordinary at some point. Like, why didn't I find out that all this was going on before I got married? Why was it when I got married that okay, now I'm ready to have a baby, that everything is now coming up? So, we waited. They told us we were going to wait about 50 something weeks. That was
That's
for the
almost a year.
NHS list. I'm like, wait, God, for a whole year, like it was heartbreaking. Everything, the feeling was not just okay, and we were frustrated. Personally, I was frustrated because it didn't make sense. I have to wait 1 year. It's not like back home whereby you can quickly check, get second opinion,
Yeah.
use the private. Do you get? It's not like there's no private here, but a lot of us cannot afford it. We couldn't afford it. That's the word. But thankfully, our GP referred us to a private hospital. I think they assist, they help the NHS cushion the effect of the waiting list. So they sent us. It was in another city, so they made a referral for that private hospital. So we were on the waiting list, and that one also had a long waiting list. But God so good, along the line in the middle of the year, they reached out to us that I'll be scheduled for a surgery and all of that. And I think the surgery happened when
So the surgery happened in October
years.
2023.
Yeah, okay,
2023,
yeah,
October
that's right.
2023. I think, but before
It
then, I
was almost
think,
a year still.
yeah, before then as well, because we also had our parents like
Yeah,
asking.
like we didn't stop at that because apparently waiting for 1 year, we can't just be waiting for 1 year and doing nothing. Our parents intervened, they asked us, we just told them, and now they were like, okay, let's go traditional, get herbs. Yeah, we were open to using herbs, but again, we were being careful. Yes, we were being careful, and we requested for herb. I think my mother-in-law was
Yeah, my
coming.
mom was coming in June. Oh, I think, okay. My mom was coming in June of that year, so she was like my mom's dad. She's not a traditionalist, but she normally, I mean, he normally helps people trying to conceive. Like he has different herbs he can give people, and when they use it, they do conceive. So when my mom was coming, she suggested that if she can get those, speak with our brothers to come with that. So my mom was coming, so she suggested bringing some herbs for us that period. So and then yeah, we agreed, and I think she came to the UK along with it. But something interesting happened, and we want to talk about it. So what happened? So when she landed, so she came, of course, from coming from Nigeria. You have to bring a lot of stuff, food stuff. She had about 3 bags with her, and so one of the bags where that thing was got missing. Up to today, we didn't see that bag. So the bag got missing from the airport, and then that was it. We were not able to get those stuff she was bringing, and we didn't use it. We didn't use anything.
Up to this very moment, how that bag, that particular one that had the herb. So what happened was there was a help from his mom. There was a help from my mom that we paid for as well, hoping that okay, we should try it, and none of those app got to us till this moment that we speak. How the bag disappeared, we don't have full explanation. All we know was that she couldn't pick up the bag from the baggage area at the airport, and that was the story. That was how that ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we couldn't make use of it. I think there was a little bit of the herb, not a complete set that came
Yeah.
with it that we used. We still went ahead to use it. That okay, we were hoping that probably there was a mix up that we will see when we recover the bag now from the airport. We tried, but nothing happened. So we just used that part that we were able to use and we moved on. I think it was that same month, August or so, we used some medication as well because like I said, we were spreading our net wide.
Yeah.
We consulted people online on social media, medical doctors that relent help people with fertility journey, and because we're just trying to say okay, while we're on the waiting list, let's try other means that it could be worth it, we could get help. We can't put all our eggs in one basket now. So we did that, and one of the medications we I think we used the medication, we followed the procedure as well, and I think in August we found out that we were pregnant.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
conceived. You conceived in August. Yeah. August 2023. Yeah. So you conceived, and I think I was at work that day, and then you called me, but I was busy. I'm not sure. I didn't check my phone, so I didn't see any call. So by the time I pull my internet on later in the day, then I saw missed calls and I saw a video recording
yeah,
of you crying and then showing the positive
yeah.
test, and I was shocked. Like
Honestly, it was
I couldn't do
surreal.
anything again. I was like, wow, finally. So God has done it. So all my mind then was I just need to go home now. And so I came home and I saw you and we were so happy that day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were because up to that day we planned, we followed the cycle tracking, the medication, we did everything we were meant to do, and we were hopeful, and got so good. I tested positive. That was the first positive
Yeah. I
ever.
mean to even experience that, to
That
even
as
see
in that feeling alone.
positive test was unbelievable. Like we're so happy. Like so this can finally this can
Finally
actually
happen. We can
happen with us.
actually test positive. Like,
Yeah.
do you get?
Yeah.
So we felt, oh, we are pregnant already, and that was it. That God has answered the prayer and all of that.
In fact, I had to buy another test just to be sure.
I think before he came back, I bought like three times because the test come with two strips. I
Yeah.
tested both of them. Is this real? Is this not real?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be faint line. We bought Clear Blue. I know. I think Clear Blue is the most expensive test strip. I tested the first one positive. I tested the second one positive. Am I dreaming? This is cross now. Like it has never happened.
Yeah. And I
When he
remember.
came back again, so I should go and buy another one that he doesn't believe.
Yeah. And I remember 2 days after, I had to buy it. No, this ones that usually show
How many
to
months?
write pregnant, and not write
Yes.
in the months.
Yeah,
I
it
went
was
to
still
buy.
Clear Blue.
Yeah, I remember that it was a
That was
Sunday
more
morning.
expensive.
I bought that one as well,
Before
and
we
we,
went
we
to
did
church.
it again. So we were just happy. And then a few days later, you started feeling some pain
I
and
was feeling
discomfort
discomfort
in
in my
your
in my
stomach, yes,
lower
abdomen.
abdomen by
Yeah.
the left, in my pelvic area. So I think I was then I began to become worried, and I was like, this is concerning. What could be happening? I've never been pregnant. Could it be the pregnancy? What's going on again? I'm like, okay, could it be because I know that, I remember they said we're on a waiting list for the ovarian cyst, and I remember there was a particular doctor we spoke to that told me that it's not as if I can't conceive, that if I conceive
Yeah.
there would most likely be complications because of that area is distorted with the combination of the ovaries now. So I began to think that could that be what was wrong? I was not just comfortable. And I think I was at work and I told my colleague that I don't think I'll come into work the next day. I was like, okay, I should sit it out and let's see, which I did. I sat it out and I think it was going to work the next day. That was on the weekend. It was going to work the next day. And from work, I told him that I'm not comfortable. I was at home all alone. I've tried everything. I've Googled, checked. Google said I should do yoga. I went to do yoga. That okay, probably it's because I'm sitting for too long. I'm not exercising. I think it was just few minutes after I did the yoga or whatever I did the exercise, just to at least feel comfortable because I was not comfortable. It could be the baby growing, who knows. So not too long, I just started seeing spotting, and I'm like, what's spotting again?
Yeah.
is this implantation bleeding or what could it be? Then I messaged them. I told them, this is what I'm experiencing. I don't know what's wrong, but I started spotting. I don't know what was wrong. Then they said I should call the hospital, and I called 111. While I called them, the way they, I don't know, those guys are not really helpful. They will just begin to ask you that, are you still breathing? Are you bleeding? What's the size of the blood that is coming from you and all of that. They did all those asking of questions and told me that okay, that if I'm still breathing, they asked me if there was anybody with me. I said no. I was even thinking they begin to bring ambulance. So these guys told me that I should get a cab and get myself to A&E, right? And I think my husband was on his way from work, so he just told me to wait, that he was going to go with me. That since it was close by, that I don't need to go myself. Then we went to A&E.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to say that part?
Yeah, we went to A&E, and they. I think we spent a lot of, almost, we were there till midnight. If I could remember. So we were there, and then they did the test. They confirmed again that she was pregnant, and then but they at that point they weren't sure what could be the cause of the pain, so they now referred you for another,
Yeah, they
like a
referred me for the
scan.
next day for a scan the next day
Yeah.
at the main hospital.
Yeah.
Before that, I think the lady just called me. She's honestly, sometimes you go to the hospital, everybody just trust that those guys are specialists and they should give you the assurance that you want, that everything will be all right. To be very honest, I just trying. Sometimes you will not just get the assurance. For me, I felt really bad. I was looking for comfort, but I didn't find it with them because the woman just told me like she was blunt. Like she has a daughter, like she has a daughter like me, that is a daughter-in-law, and the lady, and she will soon deliver, and she cannot tell me the lies, that there's nothing they can do about the pregnancy. They can't save the pregnancy. That if the pregnancy will fall, it will fall.
And if it will stay,
If it will stay, it will stay. Like
So,
it was
but
so direct.
they referred us for a
So she
scan.
now told him that I should go home, take care of me and what have you. But she referred me that we should go home and see how it's going to be. And if not, we go for scan the next day, at least to see the position of things, if the baby is really growing. Because I think their rule says they can't admit you until you're 8 weeks. And I was 6 weeks then. Yes,
Yeah, 6, 7.
I was 6, 7. I was heading to 7. That they can't do anything. So the next day now we went to the hospital towards the evening,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think around 10. Then we went there. We went to A&E again, and it was another long wait. We were waiting over the night. It was then they let us know, or they told us that it could be ectopic pregnancy.
Yeah.
So there's a
So they did.
now
They
there
did
was
the,
an
they did
iris.
a scan, and they checked.
Even before they did the scan, I think we went to A&E that night. Then they said they wanted to check they checked my blood level. They inserted catheter now. I've forgotten.
I think they did a scan before that, and then they confirmed it that.
No, it was the next day.
Oh, okay.
It was the next day.
Okay.
They did that. So we were waiting that night. We were thinking they would see us that night, but the gynecology told us that we should come back the next day for a scan. Because they couldn't do scan in the middle of the night. That it has to be in the morning. You remember? Yeah, it has to be the next day that we should go, and we went there back the next day now.
Yeah.
Because I think before that night while we were at A, and she saw us after our ward round around 4. We went from like 10 p.m. 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Then I think she pressed me. She checked. She was like, she doesn't think I'm bleeding.
Yeah.
Within, because if that will be happening, because she was already telling them to take my blood and everything, that will mean that they'll schedule me for a surgery ASAP immediately, because my life is threatened if I'm bleeding within, and they don't know if it's an ectopic pregnancy. But as soon as she pressed, she said she thinks everything is okay, that I'm not bleeding. So we went back home and came back in the morning now, when all those services are opened for a scan. So after the scan, was it the radiology that told us that, or the matron, that they can't find the baby there, that they can't find an embryo or a sac rather.
Yeah.
That they can't find anything there, but they don't know what's wrong. But they can just see something towards the left. They can't explain what it was.
Yeah. So basically, when they did the scan, ideally the baby should be in the womb, right?
Yeah,
But they said there
a
was they
sac.
can't
Yeah.
yeah in the sac, but they said they can't. There was nothing there. They couldn't. The scan couldn't see anything.
In
But
the
they did
womb
the test again, and it confirmed she's pregnant. So what they said was that it could be an ectopic pregnancy.
that didn't grow in the
Yeah.
womb.
So ectopic pregnancy is basically when a pregnancy that is outside of the womb. It could
Womb.
be anywhere else,
Implantation could have occurred anyway.
anywhere else outside. So they advised her that it could be ectopic pregnancy, and then that they will keep monitoring monitoring her to see what happens. But if it's
It must not
actually
rupture.
yeah, if it's actually ectopic pregnancy, then they have to get rid of it. Otherwise, it puts her in danger because anything growing outside the womb, it could be growing in the fallopian tube, anywhere else could it's dangerous for the baby and for her. So the advice was that it would have to be taken off if it's a ectopic pregnancy. But they could also give us like a medication.
Yeah, so there were two ways to take it off. Is either I go in for a surgery,
Yeah.
then they take one of the affected tube, the affected fallopian tube, or the second one was to put me on a cancer medication. I think one of those medications they use for chemotherapy that would dead the cell inside of me. So that cell, the baby, stopped growing
Yeah.
and it wears off in my body. That was the two options. So while we were there that morning, I think they were tending towards the second option, not the surgery. But that medication is not really, I think it's not rampant.
Yeah, it's
so
not
they need
common.
to, yeah, it's not common. They need to prepare it and get it delivered to them. So they asked us to go home and wait it out. But while they sent us home, they took my blood again to check my
check,
HSG
yeah,
level to see is
if
this
it's
pregnancy
growing.
progressing. If it's progressing, then there's further risks. If not, then maybe we can just leave it. Then
Yeah.
the pregnancy will
To go
drop.
by
It will
itself.
go by itself. So we were asked to go home. If you are following, we have two things. It's either HSG is reducing or we have to take the medication. Do you get? So I think on our way home, we just alighted from the bus stop, close home. They gave us a call back to say that the result of our HSD is back, but the thing
It's dropping.
is dropping. So that's a good one. Then that means we don't have
We
to
don't need to
carry
do any
on with the
medication.
cancer medication
Yeah.
to take it off. And I think that was how that went. I kept on doing 2 days. Lisa. Okay, sorry guys, it's our baby. He needs
Cut it
attention.
off.
Yeah, so I kept on going to 2 days after, like, to check the HSG level to make sure that it keeps on dropping and dropping. And I think that was how that episode went. We
Yeah.
lost the baby.
Yeah, we lost it, and yeah, we saw it. I think I actually saw. You showed me the is it tissue now? I saw it.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was the
but
blood
yeah, it went.
and all of that.
That went, and then the next that was around August, and then we got booked for the
Yeah,
minor surgery
subsequently, I think in
in
September,
October.
then they sent us a letter to say that we are not going to be booked if we are going to be available for October.
Yeah.
That they are willing to book us for the surgery, and that's the private referral, not even that public one, the NHS one that we were speaking about the other time, the 1 year wait one. It was the private one, and we said yes, we were ready, we were happy to do so, and I think we went for. They booked us for a particular day, then they moved it, but it still happened in October.
Yeah.
We were able to go for the surgery. They did the surgery.
So
it was successful.
Yeah. So the
To the
surgery,
glory of
the
God.
surgery basically was to is it
It's a
take off the cyst?
cystectomy, to take off the
all the
cyst.
cyst.
Yeah, it was two procedures. One cystectomy to take
And
off
dye
the cyst,
test.
separate the cyst,
Yeah.
and the other one was a dye test to check my fallopian
So the
tube.
dye test is like so they put a dye in the fallopian tube to see if it will come out on the other side.
Yeah,
Just
to see if
just
it
to
is
check
clear.
nothing is blocking
The fallopian tube.
So both went well.
Yeah.
There was no issue with the fallopian tube. It was clear, and then the surgery also. They said they removed as much as they could, but of course there will still be some that were not.
Yeah, so the doctor said the endometrium tissues were still there, the scars that caused all the whole stuff were still there, but at least they tried as much as possible to take away a large part of it, and because they don't want to obstruct other organs since we are trying for a baby, so they are being careful as well. But at least to a very reasonable extent, they are taking away the scars and the adhesions. So that was it. And so And we were expecting that, okay, so what's the next thing? Are we now free? Can we go and have our baby? And he just told us that he can't promise us that anything will happen, but we should just go and keep trying.
Yeah, so he said we should try for the next 6 months.
6 months, but
Just keep trying for the next 6 months. If after 6 months nothing happens, we should go for IVF. That was the advice the doctor gave us.
that was it.
If nothing happens after 6 months, just quickly book IVF. Don't waste any time, no delays. So we took that, and then we kept trying, we kept praying, and then 6 months passed, nothing happened. There was no pregnancy. 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, and then we just thought about it, like, okay, and then we spoke with people, medical people within the church, those we know, and they also advised, just try IVF. I mean, you are still young, and the chances are higher when the couples are younger. Personally, I feel I wasn't really up for it, but I mean, doctors have advised, and professionals have also given us advice. So I thought, why not? So we then decided that we'll go for it, and
Yes.
then we booked, we registered, we called.
Yeah.
No, I think the GP booked us in.
Yeah, because if you have to do an IVF here, you have to go through your GP. They
Yeah.
have to make the referral, even if you are going private.
Yeah.
I think they are always
still has to go through the
through
GP.
the GP. Yeah, they are always involved in all of these things. So I think we kickstarted that. There was no point waiting, to be very honest. There's no point waiting forever before now still coming back to it. If that's what they've advised.
Yeah.
And now that age is favoring us.
Yeah.
So we did that. We went to the GP. They took us through the process. They sent us, I think, a consultation for 2024 January.
Yeah.
Was that not?
Yeah.
Yes. And at the consultation with the private doctors that would do the IVF, the hospital, it was another hurdle again, because they went through the report. They said, I think they sent us for tests.
Yeah, they sent us
because
for
before
test.
that consultation, they will send you for a test where you will pay. It's now private. Check both of us, what is lacking, what needs to be done before they would.
Yeah, I think they sent us for various tests.
Yeah.
For me, did the same test, everything. She also did that.
Okay?
And then we had various meetings, different meetings, appointments with the private care fertility.
So in that appointment, sorry to cut you, I remember the doctor telling us that we were young, which, because I think there's a ratio for your chances when they check. However, by the time they checked my ovarian reserve, it was low.
They said it was low.
It was low, which was as a result of the surgery I've done, and because of the endometriosis, that my ovarian reserve was low. That was another outbreak. Which one is the ovarian reserve is low again? Okay, what causes low ovarian reserve? Is there a way you can boost it? No, they said it keeps reducing. Every woman ovary reduces as they age, right? So he said is low, so he really can't promise anything on the egg quality if we are going to do it, because for IVF you need good eggs to
have higher chances.
Yes, to have higher chances of success. To help your chances at the success of the IVF now. So he told us, but now we asked, okay, what's the way forward? He said the ovarian reserve is like there's really nothing. Though he said there's some medication that can just help improve the ovary health and what have you. And I think he told us what we are supposed to do. Like few months. He said we were supposed to have used it like 3 months or so before that time. But we were not going to wait again. We just had 1 month. We ordered the medication. I started using it, and he told us the medication we would use, and we planned a day for the egg collection.
I think just before that again, they also advised. I think they did this BMI.
BMI.
So I remember you also had to start reducing your weight.
Yes, because they said my weight was too much, and it's again to improve my chances.
You need to.
I had to reduce it. My BMI was high. I think I was obese. Yes. They said I was obese. I need to reduce it again. Why not? Immediately I went on a diet. At least anything to improve your chance. Do you get?
I mean, I remember you were now looking slim. Like you really went for it. People in church were like, "What's happening? Like, why are you looking slimmer?" So, but I think it was all part of the whole process, which is tough. Really, it wasn't an easy thing for her to do.
It was not an easy
reducing her diet, being careful with what she takes in, what she eats, and then getting herself on regular exercise just to improve the chances of that IVF being a success. So it was all the sacrifice that she had to go through to do all that. So yeah, we did all that. Then we
It
got,
was meant to be for May.
yeah,
The appointment
was
for the
the
IVF
IVF
was,
so was for me, right? But before
yes.
then, they also gave us lots of injection,
Yeah.
medication. It
Don't worry,
was,
I'll be attaching some of these videos
yeah,
in this,
yes.
some
We'll put
clip.
it on the screen for you to see. Yeah, injection, it was tough, to be honest. I mean, people doing IVF is
You should
really
respect them.
is
Not
really
only
a tough
respect them,
it's
pray
really a
for
tough
them,
it's really a tough
send them love.
period. Yeah,
It's a very tough one.
yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, you have to inject yourself with a lot of stuff every day. Do it every day, almost twice or three times daily.
It's not even easy again when you are doing IVF and you're working, because you have to follow time. There's a particular routine you are meant to follow, so that the injections will be accordingly, so that the eggs, or yes, the egg collection will be easy. The eggs will grow for the collection. Now I don't know the medical time that they use now, but you have to use it. There are specific speculated time, and I was working there. I'm in the midst of work. I'll just quickly run because I didn't even tell my manager then that was on IVF. I'll just run to the toilet,
Yeah,
quickly go and inject myself. He will be following up. Have you used it? Sometimes I even forget. And I was just busy at work. I couldn't leave what I was doing. Immediately I remember, I'll run to the toilet just to fix it.
yeah,
It was a messy period for me, mentally draining and all of that. But I'm grateful that we had each other, to be very honest.
yeah.
Because we didn't really carry anybody along. It was just us, and we're hoping that God will do it for us. It will take the glory completely.
Yeah, it was tough because those injections, the medication were to boost. He said it was to boost the egg so she can have enough egg, enough reserve for collection. So it's a very tough thing, and then we just had to go through that process during that period, and then we finally got booked for the egg collection, and then yeah, I think it went well. They were able to get.
Well, so the egg collection was not, it was not a straight curve, because you know that, remember we said that I had a low ovarian reserve. So when we started the egg collection, when they were checking, because I think we need to go again after, is it 72 hours to check
Yeah,
if the egg is growing,
yeah. So
if
so
the egg has
so they keep
increased, if the
checking.
egg has fertilized enough.
Yeah, at
You know,
intervals they keep calling you for appointment to check if you've got enough results. So they do a scan, check the
yes,
number of
because it's what the body
eggs.
would have done
Yeah,
naturally that they are trying to do. So I think at some point the egg were not growing as expected. So they kept on giving me more
more. Yeah,
injection
to boost
to
the
boost the
egg.
chances. So
Yeah,
I took like twice additional dose of the injection,
and
just to boost, so that the egg could grow. They will have egg to collect.
yeah, and I
It
must
was a
say that
difficult
each
phase.
additional injection, each additional boost costs a lot of money. It's not free. We had to pay for it. In fact, the IVF itself was very expensive, and I mean, it was again not just mentally draining. Financially, it was tough. Like it cost a whole lot of money. We spent a whole lot of money on that, and it really affected us.
It was
It was
painful
it
as
was
well.
expensive.
It was
It was
painful
expensive and
because
painful.
I'd pierced myself in all my tummy, and I didn't even know where else to pierce again. It was really painful. I couldn't take it again,
Yeah.
because after I thought, okay, I was done with the first one, they said the eggs were not growing. And then another dose. The next time again, they said they are still not able to get enough egg for collection. We had to pay for another round again. That was the third round. Then okay, then they are ready to extract. And I think they told us the day that will be
Yeah.
coming,
Yeah.
all that we need to do. And we were hopeful that, okay, yes, we went. I think we went for the egg collection. It was like a mini procedure,
Yeah.
where they will collect the egg. I think they gave me anesthesia
Yeah.
to
You
sleep
just sleep for a while. Yeah.
while, and they were able to collect. And
Extract the eggs. Yeah.
to the glory of God, we were able to get like we had 13 eggs, right?
Yeah.
13 eggs. So after egg collection, the next thing will be that they will do sperm collection
I
as
think they
well.
did everything the same day.
Yeah, they did sperm
The
collection,
same
and they will
day.
tell you to go.
So they will
That
now fertilize both, and then they will let you know. They
they will do
communicate
their
with us.
thing.
They communicate with us the number of embryos they have. So
Out
they
of
did.
13, we were
Yeah.
able to get 13 eggs,
13.
which
Yeah.
they said for other people they get more than that. But for us, we were able to get 13. But in the process, I think 4 went bad. Then we had 9
Yeah.
that was okay.
Yeah.
that was okay. I think was it after a few days they told us that we'll be ready. I was after 7 days
So
or so.
is it nine
Nine
viable
viable
embryos?
embryos.
Yeah,
So that was successful, and they
yeah,
told us that we are ready for implantation.
yeah.
And
So you have to start taking another round of
was it
medication to get your
projection?
body
Yes, to get my body
for
prepared
the implant for
for the
the transfer. Yeah, for
yeah
the
for the
embryo transfer rather. Yeah,
transfer. So I think they scheduled us for a day for transfer as well, and they told us that we should come on that day. We should prepare ourselves. We will be there. They will do the transfer, and that will be all.
yeah,
So we went that morning for the transfer, and it was good because before the transfer, it was there. They showed us the embryo on the screen,
yeah,
how the embryo was doing. It was actually good.
yeah. I think
We
I
have
still
the
have the
picture. I
picture.
have the picture as
Yeah.
well, and we will show you in this video. They said it was okay. That everything was fine, and fingers crossed, the procedure was
The
successful.
transfer
It
of the
was
embryo
successful.
was okay as
There
well.
was
Went well.
no hyperstimulation.
Yeah.
Everything was okay. We were hopeful that
And yeah,
we're going to have our baby.
and then that was it. We went and then they told us in 2 weeks time we should
Just
test.
like the normal after your ovulation,
Yeah,
and
we
they
should do a
said
pregnancy test
pregnancy
and then
test.
we need to let them know the outcome. So it was another tough 2 weeks of waiting. Very very tough. A very long 2 weeks. So
Ask us about it.
yeah, we were waiting and praying, and then after 2 weeks we did the test.
Even before
So
2 weeks, few days before the
you
two
started
weeks, I
seeing
started bleeding.
blood. Yeah,
I was on the bed and
so we
I
knew
started bleeding.
uh,
And I'm
this
like, okay, what's this again?
this
Is
is
this
looking.
implantation bleeding
Yeah, is
again?
it
What
implantation
is it?
bleeding?
But the bleeding increased and they kept on increasing. We called them. They were like, I should keep taking my medication also.
Yeah,
But at that point, I'd given up, to be very honest. Is if you are, see, one thing about trying is you lose hope even while you are trying because you're already used to, unfortunately, just like you're applying for a job and they keep rejecting you. That's the way it is every month when you're trying for a baby and you keep seeing your cycle. The next month, I just is only a thin line that you'll be able to trust that okay, it could be possible. But as soon as I saw the red blood, I just gave up that it didn't work out.
yeah,
But they kept on saying that we should get back to them on the 14th day. That we can't say it didn't work out. That I'm bleeding doesn't mean that we have lost the pregnancy. That some people still bleed. But for me, I'd given up hope. As soon as I saw the blood and I was bleeding, I had used pad. Like what was left. So I just surrounded and at least I think we still waited till the 14th day to get back to them,
yeah,
like they advised, and we told them that we bled. So they were like, okay, that they are sorry, but we should prepare for the next.
yeah. I mean, it wasn't successful. It didn't work out. All the money spent gone, and then so when we told them though, so they booked another appointment with us with a specialist, a doctor, just like a review
Yeah, there's a
of
recovery. I think there's a recovery team that when it goes bad, you speak to them. They will check
yeah,
what could have happened.
yeah, like a review of the whole process, what happened, why it wasn't successful. So we had a meeting with the doctor. So he ran us through the whole thing, why it wasn't successful, and what we could do for the next round. I mean, for the next stage, like if you want to go for a second try
Nice, yeah.
for the
Next cycle,
IVF.
I'm like next cycle. I didn't even know that they used to do next cycle
No,
too.
because we already have like six, seven embryos with them. So they
Embryos.
only transferred one. So we still have some with them
Me,
in
I'm
reserve.
even saying that by then he was one that told me. Maybe because my mind was not there. I was present in the body, but I was
Yeah.
not present in my
So they
mind.
told us that it's advisable to try it again.
Another cycle that
Another
people do
cycle.
it cycle by. I was like,
Yeah.
ha,
So
cycle
my
by cycle.
my own question was that is this going to be free? Because we spent a lot of money. I don't even want to mention
No.
the cost now, and we were not eligible to free IVF
Yeah.
because I mean we're not British citizens. None of us were. We don't have that right at that time. But it was expensive, and it was telling us to go for another one,
Another cycle
and
that
then we
people
have to
do
pay.
cycles
We
by
have to pay
cycle.
for it, but it won't be as much
He
as
was
the
even
first one.
asking that was it the combo package, and I'm like, what's combo package? That
So we're like, you know what? Just hold on.
hold
We're
on.
not in the right frame
Mentally, self, I was
right
not in the
now.
first. I wasn't going back there.
We're not
I'm
in the
like,
right frame to try anything right now. We'll get back to them, and so we just had to cool off, take some time off. That was in June 2024, and then we
it was
just
a tough one. Okay, before that, before we continue, I want to say something. For the endometriosis part that we were saying, endometriosis is something that nobody wants to have, and I think it's not education about it is not very publicized, and but it's happening and is having adverse effect on people today. Because I remember that the day we did that transfer, after the transfer, I had an appointment for the endometriosis appointment that they said they want to manage the appointment. And I think in that appointment they were telling me they didn't even know I had done IVF. They were telling me that for management that there are different types of management, that am I willing to put my body for research, that some people they'll use medication hormones to manage them. I'm like, you shouldn't give me hormones if I'm trying to conceive, right? Why some people they would do surgery, and I'm like, okay, I've done surgery already. So they were not like they'll use hormone, and I was like, I'm going to walk out of that place. And I told them that I'd done IVF. They're like, okay, hopefully it's successful. Then they said, okay, I should go there. I can always come back if I want to. I never went, then I'll never have any reasons to go there. I just have to say that because I'm going to say something at the end of this video, that God is faithful and God plans all things according to his time. So moving forward, after the IVF failed, I was very devastated, and it was difficult. I know most of the time I showed up like I was strong, but I was dying within. I was dying inside. Also, I was trying to be strong for him, because I know that if I break down, I'm crying at home, he's really not going to be happy. And I know he's breaking inside as well. I know he's trying to be strong on the surface level, which was a lie. So I needed to be very strong. And when I couldn't take it anymore, I went to one of a very good big sister and friend of mine. I went there to cry. I cried
Shout
so
out to
so
Sister Dupe.
much. Yes, I cried so much, and she cried with me. I can never forget that singular act, because I was really broken at that point. And she was like, you were strong, you were strong. I'm like, no, I don't want to hear. I know people say I'm strong, but I don't want to hear I'm strong. At that point, I just had to tell God, please take this cup. You know the way Jesus said it, that if it be possible, take this cup from me. And I was like, no, God, I can't carry this. I can't carry it again. I'm carrying a lot of burden. I know I show up smiling, like as if everything was fine, but nothing was fine. Looks like my whole world was crumbling. And at that point, I said a statement which I'm swallowing back now, and I regret saying it. I was like, God wasn't faithful, because along that journey, up till at the point of the IVF, I told God that while I was praying, God, I want you to take the glory. I don't want man to share this glory with you. Please do take the glory. Allow this IVF to be successful. I've gone through a whole lot of playing back and forth. Please just take the glory. But again, God takes the glory the way He wants to. You don't get to decide how you want how you want Him to take the glory, because that's what I've come to realize now. The IVF didn't work out, so I was so pained. After the crying, I was okay. She told me that God was faithful, that I shouldn't worry, that there's always a way around. We continue, that God will always make a way, and she encouraged me. So I went back home. I'm not sure I even knew that was what I went there to do. I just told him that I was going out, that was it, and I came back, and that was it. So we came back again, and we continued. I think we got over it. He ordered me some nice food. We ate, and we got over it. It's not the end of the world. We keep trying. That God will do it, and that was how we encouraged ourselves. Up to, was
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Was it August or September? It was
We keep
September.
we keep trying. We keep trying, and we keep praying. And
Yeah,
she's
praying.
NS what NSPPD fan.
NSPPD. I'm an
Ev-
NSPPDian.
Every
Yes,
morning she's
yes,
always
because
praying.
I was on the
But yeah,
altar.
we
I kept on
we we
praying.
never stop believing. We never stop praying.
Yes.
So we told the doctors, the fertility guys, I will come back to them. But we just wanted to take another 6 months off. Let's